Hello, and welcome to a brief presentation on the Keene Pavement Project. My name is Christopher Andreessen with Caltrans District 9, and I'll be your guide today. Let's get started. Here is the general overview of the Keene Pavement Project. This project will rehabilitate 12.25 miles of State Route 58, covering nearly 45 miles across all lanes of the highway. The construction area will start near Bealville Road and go to about 2 miles west of State Route 202. The project will also add a 3.5-mile eastbound truck climbing lane at the western end of the project area. A wildlife crossing is also planned for this project, and we anticipate to have more information on that later this year. Finally, Caltrans will be upgrading various highway elements like guardrail, lighting, the center median, and more. Currently, Keene Pavement is in the design phase, which is where engineers work to finalize all aspects of the project. That includes traffic control and lane closures. The design phase can take several months to more than a year, depending on the difficulty of a project. For Keene Pavement, there are several challenges engineers need to account for, including environmental resources, a lack of space, pavement that is at an angle, and the needs of the actual equipment that will be used during construction. There are also elevation challenges that must be addressed. As you can see from this simple line graph of the Keene Pavement elevation changes, there are steep inclines at 2 locations that must be factored into the project's final design. And that includes the design of traffic control. To plan for that, Caltrans performed a lane closure test in early January 2025 during some pre-scheduled highway maintenance work. On January 7th, 3.5 miles of eastbound State Route 58 was limited to 1 lane between State Route 223 and Hart Flat Road. This is right around the same area where the truck climbing lane will be built. The closure was in place for approximately 6 hours, and during this time, Caltrans recorded traffic wait times and backups. During the test, the median wait time for the hundreds of cars and trucks that went through the lane closure was 5.9 minutes. The only significant increase in wait times occurred when several slow-moving oversized permit loads went through the lane closure. This provided Caltrans with vital information on extra steps it can take during construction to keep traffic moving as smoothly and efficiently as possible. All the data collected on January 7th is being entered into engineering models that will help finalize the traffic control plan for when construction starts. Caltrans is exploring a plan that will reduce traffic to 1 lane in each direction, with a wide shoulder on the eastbound side. This will be safer for drivers, safer for contractors and Caltrans workers, create an open eastbound path for emergency vehicles, and make eastbound traffic more manageable should a truck stall on the highway. Reducing it to 1 lane will also help with the lack of space mentioned earlier. It's important to note that Caltrans is not considering reducing traffic to 1 lane for the full length of the project area. Instead, it'll be done in phases. By doing it this way, traffic will be able to flow freely in the areas that are not being worked on, which will help to keep traffic moving. To give you an idea of how this will work, let's look at the proposed plan for Phase 1. Traffic in both directions will be moved to the inside lanes. On the westbound side, there will be a 5-foot shoulder. On the eastbound side, there will be a wider shoulder that will be available for emergency vehicles and as a detour route should a vehicle experience issues on the main travel lane. Construction will happen on the outside lanes and shoulder. On the eastbound side, the truck climbing lane will be built as well. When work is finished on the outside lanes, traffic will move over as construction begins on the inside lanes and center median. When traffic moves over to the outside lanes, eastbound traffic will still have access to that wide shoulder. The traffic control plans will be finalized once the engineering models are complete, but Caltrans is already exploring ways to assist traffic flow during construction. This includes having CHP and a tow truck on site 24 hours a day throughout the project construction. Caltrans is also looking into limiting oversized permit loads to the overnight hours or restricting them from the highway altogether. All of this will be in addition to a robust public outreach campaign that will start next year. Not only will this outreach target commuters and encourage transit and carpooling options, but it will also reach out to trucking companies and freight organizations, encouraging their drivers to take alternate routes during construction. You'll be hearing more about this project as it moves forward through the design phase. In terms of what's next, here's a look at the tentative dates for the next major steps in the project process. We anticipate to wrap up design early next year and finalize the traffic control plan. We also expect to finalize plans for the wildlife crossing in this time. Funding is anticipated to be allocated next summer, with a construction contract awarded in fall 2026. Finally, boots on the ground construction is currently slated to start in early 2027. That is it for this presentation. Thank you for watching, and be sure to follow Caltrans District 9 on social media for updates on this and all our other projects, as well as highway conditions and important safety messages.